Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What's Wrong With That Golf. So yeah, today I'm going to have a look at the fuel pump. It's starting to really frustrate me, but yeah, I'm going to get this sorted. So a little bit of a recap of everything that I've done so far is we've checked the map sensor and that's fine. We've checked the catalytic converter and that's good. We have changed the spark plugs, changed the ignition coils. I think that's about it. The fuel filter, changed the fuel filter over. I just really hope that it is the fuel pump because, although no, I don't hope it's the fuel pump because I got quoted 260 francs, 260 Swiss francs this morning. I called up said 260 francs, so that's nearly double what I paid for the car. So I don't know if I'm hoping that it's not the pump, but if it is, then we get it fixed. I think I deserve a win with this car because I'm getting some ants in my pants because I really want to take it on a tour now, because I've obviously got the next Volvo that's also ready to be worked on too. That's going to need a service, so I'm going to have to service that before we go anywhere. Yeah, I suppose it's just how it is if you're not a mechanic and you don't know what you're doing. There's a lot of unnecessary trialing and erroring. I don't have a manometer, so I can't check the fuel pressure. I might try and take the intake fuel line out and test the pressure into a bottle. I went to do that in one of the other videos and sort of chickened out just because it really felt like I didn't know what I was doing, which was true, but I watched the mechanic do it on YouTube yesterday because I was doing a bit of research on what I should do in this particular situation, and he showed that fuel pressure test. So he had a 1.5 litre bottle and then put the intake hose into that bottle and then started the car and then checked to see if there was any fuel coming through, and there wasn't. So it seems like, because I did get that idea of doing that a few days ago from Mr. GPT, but he has been throwing me some pretty shady information recently, so I was very skeptical on doing that. So I might try that today, actually. As you can see, I'm now driving up a hill. Well, you can't see, but I'm now driving up a hill, and I'm just not getting that strength up the hill. And I'm foot flat to the ground, and I'm doing, say, max 220,000 RPM, and I'm doing probably 43 kilometers an hour, which is, and it's not a huge steep hill. I mean, it's not flat, but yeah, I should be able to get up that hill like with ease, but I can't. So yeah, it's frustrating to say the least, but we keep pushing forward and we keep trying to find the root cause of this issue. And when we do, and when we fix it, it's going to make the tour all that more sweeter. So I've constantly got that in my mind, that it's going to work, we're going to get this sorted out. Don't forget, you're not a mechanic. So yeah, but I think there's only so much disappointment one can take, so to say, and the cheap car very quickly turns into a not so cheap car. Although, in saying that, if it really is just this small issue and we manage to get it done, even if I have to buy another fuel pump, it's gonna still end up being around $500 that I've invested into it. So I think it's still a pretty good deal. So if I think about it that way, it still most definitely comes under the cheap car banner. It's not going to be spent the budget is not going to be blown. The 1,000 franc budget is not going to be blown, that's for sure. So yeah, we're going to go back to the workshop. I'm going to take the van down to the train station, park him there out of the way, get the Volvo out of the workshop because the Volvo's in there at the moment, and then I'm just going to bring the although no, if the sun's out today in the driveway of the workshop, I might just do it in the driveway. Yeah, if it's not too cold. But yeah, so that's sort of where we're at the moment. Really looking forward to getting this thing working at full capacity. If we can't, I'm going to be very disappointed, but we just have to move on and move on to the next, because this is definitely not supposed to be a channel for fixing cars. It's supposed to be a channel for road trips and driving cars. So this fixer-uppery part of the videos is literally just a necessity. It's not out of want. It's just, I want to show everyone like what my skill set is, what I'm working with, and yeah, it's sort of showing that anyone can do it if they study it and research it enough. I still haven't. The only help I've gotten from my mechanic so far is just tips and tricks, but that's it. I haven't taken it, like he hasn't seen the Golf, and even with the Fiat Palio, for those who have seen that one, the very first car that I had, that was literally just my own research, and I managed to figure out that the issue was the expansion cap. So at the end of it, it was very, very rewarding because yeah, I fixed it myself for very cheap, and yeah, drove it down to Turin, Milan, St. Moritz and all that sort of stuff. So I'm hoping to do exactly the same thing with this. My plan is to take it for a nice scenic road trip around the area of Basel and parts of, yeah, that's all I'll say. But maybe if I do get it like sorted properly, then maybe I'll treat myself and this lovely car to a little bit more of a nice trip. Who knows? But yeah, so we're soon going to be at the workshop, and we're going to get started with the changing, or just at least inspecting the fuel pump and the regulator and all that, and the sock filter that's within the fuel pump. So all right, so we're back at the workshop now. I'm going to attempt to take this bloody thing out. This seat, really frustrating. How the hell did I get that? I need to stop trying to beat the shit out of it. That's why. There we go. Connected there. Under here is where under this little flap is our fuel pump. So we're going to take this off. Just test it one more time. I mean, obviously it's working. Yeah, it's obviously working because I was able to drive here. I think it's clogged. Seat to stay up. Right. So a little bit of aluminium extruder. Does the trick. In handy very nicely. I'm going to take this thing out. I'm going to give this a little bit of a vacuum first. It's a very annoying sound. So here we can see, we need to get this connector out, unhook these hoses, this guy off. So I finally got this connector off, and I think I may have broken the inertia switch. Shit. So if anyone knows how to fix that without getting another connector, I'd really like to know. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these fuel lines out and then pull the pump out. So bear with me. Got this one fuel line. There's the other one. Oh, it smells like fuel. Delicious. Whoa! Right, I'm gonna get some paper towel. All right, so before I go taking apart the fuel pump, I'm just gonna check that flow situation. So just to give you an idea of what I'm gonna do, here's the fuel line that goes into the fuel rail here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. It's just a little compression clip. Take the clip off and then take that fuel line off. And then I'm going to start it up and see how much fuel comes out, if it's the fuel pressure. Because the pump is working, whether it's the pump or whether there's something a little bit more. And then it slowly starts to move a little bit. So hopefully I have it off in the next half an hour. Smashy fingers coming up. All right, so I'm going to show you now what I'm up to here. So I've managed to take the fuel line off, primed it twice, and there's good flow. And I'm going to turn the ignition on, and then you'll see the pump trying to prime the injectors. Shows that the pump is actually good. So we're on to the next thing. So I'll retract that. It means that there's no blockage, but it could mean that the fuel regulator is not good, which is built into the pump. Another option or another possibility of what's failing is potentially the hose. So the hose is potentially too soft, which then under vacuum load, it could collapse and then starve the injectors. So that could be the next problem. Yep, so we're going to put the fuel hose back on and then see if I can see any irregularities with the... Oh man, this sticky tape is so strong. Try and find any irregularities with what's going on inside the fuel pump, and then hopefully we can sort something out. Alright, back in the car now. I've got the fuel, so connectors away, got the fuel out, the fuel line, and the evac line is also out. So I'm going to attempt now to get this unit out, just to have a look at everything. So I've just taken this ring off, going to try and get this out. I've heard this is really difficult, can be quite messy, so yay, just what I want. So there it is, the pump out. I'm going to now inspect under here. I think there's a filter. I'm going to have a look and see what that's looking like. So what I'm going to do now is wipe down first. So what I'm going to do is check the sock filter on the inside, and then hopefully if that is showing that it's super clogged, then so I've just unnecessarily taken the pump apart because my best mate, Mr. GPT, said that you can take it out and clean the sock filter, but I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. Turns out I can't take any of the motor or the pump out. So now I have to check. What I'm going to do is check the pressure directly out of the pump. So I'm going to prime it and then rig something up that catches the fuel. I've just spent the last half an hour trying to get this lock ring over the top. Nothing like a good bloody half an hour's wasted on something that didn't even need to be done. But she's a learning curve, ain't she? Learning curve. All right, so I've got the fuel pump back in. I'm just going to prime it. The next thing I'm going to do is look at the injectors. So yeah, no luck so far, but confidence is always sky high until it's not. I've got the boombox playing now, so I've got some tunes playing, so it keeps the spirits high. Uh-oh, fuel pump's not working. Shit. Oh God. This is really getting annoying now. So I think we may have blown a fuse because I'm not getting any power to the pump connector anymore, which is a bit frustrating because I can't test if it's working. So I'm going to look for the Sicherung. Where is this? So it should be here. Where is it? Found it. So 94. So Kraftstoffpumpe on the inside. Let's see if it's good. Bad news. It's good. So that means that something has gone wrong. So back in the car, nothing. Shit. All right, so now I'm, first of all, really cold. The other beast is in the workshop. I'm trying now to get the relay off for the fuel pump because supposedly it's notorious for going bird. Swap them around. Ah, shit, I just pulled the wrong one out. Well, might help. So talk about emotional roller coaster. It's now not getting any power at all. Well, that's a lie. It's getting a tiny little bit of power. The odometer is lighting up, but all the other lights, all the dash lights, they aren't even coming on now. So me and my mate GPT have narrowed it down to potentially the ignition switch because the relay it's not staying on. It's clicking, but it's not staying on. And yeah, nothing is getting power. The fuel pump is dead. Basically, there's no power going to it whatsoever. There's no power going to the relay, and I've swapped over the relay because there is two of the same number. So I've swapped that over, and it doesn't work. And I think it's called the ignition relay. That's clicking over. It clicks once, but then it doesn't hold any power. So there's a shortage somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look and see if I can figure out if the ignition switch, open up the behind the barrel now and then just have a look, maybe try and take it out, and then I can take it into the parts place and ignition switch and then see if that works. So hopefully we get it sorted soon because it's becoming very frustrating. For me, I don't quite see the light at the end of the tunnel because, again, I'm not skilled. I'm not a mechanic. So have tried all the possibilities that it could be. Yeah, we've still not come to the culprit. But yeah, I mean, I think this symptom now could be a good thing because it could be explaining our total power loss, yeah, obviously from the fuel pump, and that was causing, whilst driving at high RPM, that it was being starved because it just wasn't able to produce enough power. This is all speculation and guessing. Yeah, I could be talking complete bullshit and someone goes, "You're talking absolute crap," but
yeah, this is just sort of the trial and error thing that I'm doing with it. So yeah, I'm very sort of like at the point of when is the last investment going to be? So I'm really hoping that, because I took the pump out and the pump looks good. And it really was, it was very clean. There was no grit or muck in the filter, in the strainer. There was good pressure going into the ignition rail. The next thing I was going to do was check the injectors, but the car just wouldn't, the pump wouldn't prime. And that was at the exact point that I put the pump back in. I went to prime it and it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't turn back on. So that was where we started going down this ignition switch rabbit hole. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be too worried about it if I didn't have this thing in the workshop and I could bring the Golf in, but it's fucking freezing outside. But hopefully it's not too expensive, first and foremost, for an ignition switch, and then hopefully it's not too difficult for me to put it in. I mean, I'm not too worried about the labour putting it in. It's just if it's going to cost me another $150, I'm a little bit apprehensive to invest too much more into it. But yeah, like we said, anyway, I'm gonna go take this ignition switch out and then this is funny. So how the key out? Doesn't seem to be any more screws. Take it out with brute force and ignorance. It's the only way. Maybe that's this one first. Without destroying it, hopefully. Alright, so got that. Don't tell me I need to take the steering wheel off. Surely not. So found the screw. Don't have to take the steering wheel off, which is great. I really hope I don't lose any of these parts. Next car, I promise that it's not going to have any major issues. All right, come on. All right, there we go. So, I'm guessing that's it there. So, we are now, I'm totally over it today. It is absolutely freezing, no sun. Oh, God. But yeah, so we are, I wouldn't call it a successful day, but I also wouldn't call it an unsuccessful day, because obviously we didn't get the result that we wanted for the day, but it seems as though we are coming or getting a lot closer to the major issue. Still, I mean, I've got a very cheap sort of OBD2 reader that pretty much just reads codes when codes come up, and I can delete them. But it's not a super high tech OBD2 reader that you can like make major diagnostics and stuff with. So still sort of running blind, I would say. Yeah, I think that's a pretty big symptom. What happened today with just literally just clicking over. There was no turning or anything like that. So if that's a big clue to anyone watching that sort of immediately gives it away, please let me know what you think it is. Well, I'm gonna go tomorrow and have a look to see if I can get an ignition switch. I mean, the ignition switch sounds cheap, but I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea if it's gonna, because when I took off the steering column cover, it bows the ignition switch, and it doesn't look like a very cheap part, but I could be wrong. So yeah, again, I think I'll put the question to everyone who's watching, who knows what they're actually doing with this stuff. The the symptoms that I was getting at the very beginning with the golf, is that actually something that you could relate to an ignition switch going bad, or am I literally just again running down another rabbit hole that isn't going to solve anything for me? I'd love to know, because I have a feeling that Mr. GPT, once our conversations start to sort of run further past like 5 or 6 paragraphs, he tends to go off on rants and go around in circles, and I end up doing things twice and then just basically saying the same thing over and over again, which is really frustrating. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that it is if it's really that easy and that's going to fix everything. I mean, that would be great. Just don't know if it's going to be that easy. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, I hope I'm not going to have a disappointing phone call with the person I'm going to be giving it to. Tell them that the Golf is actually not right to drive. Again, every day, but the same amount of confidence. These little hiccups or hurdles, they do tend to knock the confidence down slightly, but I've had such great responses and comments and encouragement and everything from so many people that it's really given me a lot of motivation. So yeah, I thank everyone for that, and we're going to give it another crack tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, if you like the videos, if you've got any input or tips or anything, pointers, something I've missed, something I should look at, feel free to drop me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe for the next video. Yeah, hopefully we can all see the Golf driving at 100% capacity in the very, very near future whilst I take it on tour. I mean, that would be ideal. So once again, thank you very much, and we will see you tomorrow.